that has got to be one of the most insane stretches of birding.
I am birding Southeast Arizona for the very first time, seeing some unbelievable species with an awesome group of people along with me. We explore world-famous canyons chocked full of birds, the deserts of Saguaro National Park, and at the end of the video, I have one of my most unique encounters in birding yet. Let's get into the adventure.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I've officially made it to Tucson, Arizona. We're gonna be birding here for 5 days in a row, and I am just really excited to explore a new region and see a bunch of birds.
Well, as I was doing my intro, I was interrupted here as someone came down the path and alerted us to this beauty. This is my first ever rattlesnake. Weird that we do get them in Utah and I've never seen one. Maybe grateful I've never seen one, but this was such a cool encounter. As it slithers away, just look at that rattler on the end of it. Really cool.
But anyway, sorry, someone came down the trail and we just had to chat with them for a little bit about what they were seeing. But here in Tucson, birding for a bunch of days, and this is kind of just a bonus pre-adventure because our full day starts tomorrow. We just got into Tucson from the road trip we took down from Utah, and now we're at Saguaro National Park. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I try to pronounce that correctly. Please don't flame me in the comments. But anyways, very excited to be here in Arizona. I mean, look at these cacti behind me, and I am just so excited. But anyways, I'm here with Jordan. He's obviously road trip down with me. We just met up with one of our friends and another fellow creator, Wildlife Wade. His links will be in the description. It's really cool to meet another person we've been connected to online for a while, finally meet in person. That's the fun of doing this whole YouTube birding thing, is we get to find some of these connections that we never would have otherwise and take us to some cool places like where we're about to explore.
Speaking of cool places, it's hard to pick a better place to start this trip off than Saguaro National Park. Look at these cacti towering above some of these trees here. And the bird life was great too. We started with a Wilson's warbler before seeing a raven fly away in the distance. And then a really awesome look of this woodpecker on a saguaro cacti. I also snapped a few pictures of this bird that I really loved too. Before even embarking on this trip, one of my goals in the back of my mind was that I wanted a picture of a bird on a cactus, and we got that like pretty much right away at our first stop in Tucson. Mission accomplished.
I got one in Salt Lake. Oh, you did? That was where we met. It was the further.
Treating this almost as if a pre-adventure just was so fun to pick up all of these birds. It just felt like bonus, honestly, getting to see some of these desert species in such a unique habitat. The canyon tow here, I actually think may have been a lifer. It was a lifer on this trip. I don't know if this was the first instance I saw it, but another cool bird. And that rounded out much of the highlights of what we were seeing in Saguaro National Park. What a great just taste tester for what's going to be an amazing remainder of the trip and an awesome day tomorrow. So shout out to Wade for meeting up with us and showing us around a bit. But let's start tomorrow. Morning, it is sunrise, just having a bagel here, 5:30 a.m. And we have the boys here.
Hey, yes sir. We made it.
Ricky and Cossum are here. They were with us last year in Oregon. I mean, we joined them. They live in Oregon. And we've done this trip again this year. So very excited to have them here with us. We're heading to Madera Canyon here very shortly for some, I'm sure will be amazing birding. Madera Canyon is iconic, plain and simple. If you're going birding in Southeast Arizona, this is usually at the top of the list of destinations you have to visit. And one of the main reasons for that is your chances of seeing the Coppery-tailed trogon, what is formerly the elegant trogon. They were split recently. So we began heading up this canyon, eagerly waiting what we are going to see on the day. Passing some birds on the way up, like this wild turkey, we got to the Coppery Nation Trail where we would begin our hike.
All right, everyone, welcome to Madera Canyon. We are here at the Coppery Nation Trail looking for Coppery-tailed trogon, and we just heard about 3 of them doing territorial defense. And I got some audio recordings, so I'm really excited about that, but we didn't get any eyes on them. We're gonna keep hiking this trail and hope we see them, but also got lifer Mexican jay, which is really cool. So let's give you some looks of some of the birds we've been seeing now.
it's the northern.
I dialed back a little bit on the voiceover so you could appreciate some of those bird calls. The wren is still going crazy in the background of this hummingbird shot, but what a cool start with some good birds, including that Mexican jay lifer.
Oh, he's right here, yeah.
Wow, what a beautiful bird, man. Oh my God.
I agree that redstart was beautiful, and look at this, it's carrying nesting material in these stills that I got.
Wow. Oh, what a stuff. Yeah, it's a Hummer. That was it.
They like the pine, right?
That's it, right? That's it. Yeah.
We were doing what is referred to as pishing right there to see if we could get the warbler to pop out and give us good looks. They were just okay, but really awesome to see a hermit warbler. There was plenty of birds though up in the canopy, including so many lifers and some other familiar birds. It's the little one behind the big dead one. The Arizona woodpecker is another Southeast Arizona specialty that was an awesome pickup so early on in the trip.
That's a red-faced warbler.
Like Cossum just proclaimed there, that was indeed the red-faced warbler. We scrambled to get our cameras to see this bird. This one was actually Ricky and I's top target. We like to pick a bird we want to see the most, just to throw something out there. And this was mine and Ricky's, and we got it. And pretty decent views if you know how warblers usually are. But then, a moment I will remember for a long time just happened. Just an unbelievable moment seeing a bird we all wanted to see. There's a few other birders here we got to chat with for a while as we got to observe just this stunning bird. It's hard to believe you can find birds with this color in the United States. Even more neat was they were nesting. We never ended up really seeing the female, but she was calling from within the nest and the male was calling back the whole time, which is why we're able to actually get decent audio recordings of that call.
See it from there. Okay. Just making sure. I was like, you can come over here.
Holy cow, that has got to be one of the most insane stretches of birding I've ever had. I mean, we were walking up and it was like, lifer there, lifer there. This is just absolutely delivered. We thought we were only gonna hear the trogon and then we saw this one, just beautiful. There's a male and a female attending to a nest and the male is just kind of constantly calling, letting its presence known, defending its territory. Just unbelievable. But also, before that, I just hit my number one target, which is a red-faced warbler. That was the bird I wanted to see most. It just looks so beautiful with that like grayish body and red face. Wow, like, man, it's the perfect morning. The only thing you could ask for is maybe eye-level views of some of those warblers really high up in the trees, but holy cow, this was just incredible. I cannot state it much how amazing this is. Just to give you a little more information on kind of like what we've been doing too, we're hiking up this trail and gaining a decent bit of elevation. It's a fairly rocky trail, and since we're up here pretty high in the canyon, it's cool right now too. I mean, we thought we'd be in Tucson, Arizona in shorts and t-shirts the whole time, but we have coats and pants on right now because it's probably about 60-ish degrees, but yeah, and it's very still and just perfect for hearing birds. Just so awesome. Seriously amazing stuff.
He's in the shade. Bright green. His back is to us.
At this point, we had really seen what we wanted to, so we were gonna head back down the trail and hit a new hot spot. On the way down, though, there were still great birds. This Plumius vireo was nest building, which is really sweet. And then we got another lifer, the yellow-eyed junco. Now, we kind of wrote this one off, and we thought we'd see it everywhere throughout the trip. This was the only time we saw it, so really thankful I got those views. Of course, one more look at that trogon before we left it.
I'm trying.
All right, hey, wait. How are we feeling, everyone?
Oh, absolutely amazing, brother.
Let's go.
So
Crazy.
trip.
And on the way down, we got a lot of fleeting views of birds, and we had the classic warblers up in the canopy hopping between trees. But we were still so excited at what we had just seen, it was hard to have anything drag us down at this point. Especially when you're able to pick up another lifer in southeastern Arizona specialty, like this bridled titmouse.
Oh, he's right here.
Oh, wow.
That's insane.
Birding trip. Nice. Oh, yeah.
As we wrapped up the hike, we transitioned just a little bit down the canyon to the Santa Rita Lodge. All right, we've just posted up here now at the Santa Rita Lodge feeders. This is a very famous place to come and see hummingbirds and some other species that come in. They have a pretty nuts feeder set up in front of you. I'm gonna show you right now. So I'm here on this bench. There's a feeder with hummingbirds right there. There's one right there, one there, and then you can see all the feeders in front of me.
There's a good view of the black-headed grosbeak.
Wouldn't it be Rocky Mountain?
This was such a fun stop. After hiking a little bit this morning, it was nice just to sit on the benches and watch all the birds come to us right in front of our faces. There were some beautiful hummingbirds. We got great looks at broad-billed hummingbirds. We got our first Rivalese hummingbird, and we saw so many cool species too.
Lilies don't throw their weight around.
There was a black-headed grosbeak over here.
Feeder birding is definitely not everyone's favorite, but I always find it such a relaxing break from being out in the field, and it's a really good midday activity, in my opinion. I mean, just look at the views we get of some of these birds, and you're also able to get some pretty phenomenal photos too, where you might not usually be able to get as close to some of these species. So, to each their own, I'd say. There were some fun interactions too, like this acorn woodpecker making a nuisance and watching the hummingbirds battle it out over owning the feeder. Very fun stuff. But speaking of photos, these are some of the favorite ones I got. These first few aren't even edited yet, but the last one I was really happy with, so I touched it up a little bit. Just look at those colors on the Hummer. But I also stopped inside for a latte and got a nice little drink and looked at their gift shop before going to the back porch and watching the jays do their thing out back. Tried to snap a few stills to get some fun in-flight photos. They're not all super sharp, but they're kind of funny in their own right. That pretty much rounds out the birds we saw here though. What a cool location. As you can see, it is very popular too. After leaving Madera Canyon, we transitioned to Box Canyon where we followed our friend Sean to look for some great birds. This is what Box Canyon looks like from above. Very different, a lot less green, and a lot more rocky. We started scanning the hillside looking for our target species, the 5-striped sparrow. Every little bird like this canyon towhee got us somewhat excited because we thought it might have been the species we were looking for, but we were having no luck initially. We searched around for a while, walking in the hot sun. We did get one really cool moment though of seeing a golden eagle land up on a nest high up in the cliffs. Yeah, look at it, just landed on a nest, whatever that is. Cool. Okay, welcome to the next spot. We're now in Box Canyon, and it's very, very different landscape here. It's rocky, a lot drier, more arid from Madera Canyon, just like one little jump and a skip over that way. And so here is the specialty spot for five-striped sparrow. It's one of their best habitat, and we're trying to find them out here. Not having too much luck. The whole game right now is kind of just walk along this gravel road, look down over the edge into what's down there, look up onto the hillside and see if we can find them. But we've looked down and seen some woodpeckers, got a summer tanager, and a few other great species, but no sparrow yet. We'll keep searching. Funnily enough, moving away from the greener Madera Canyon, we still had hummingbirds, including this nice broad-billed hummingbird. And there were plenty of other birds around down in the dry wash. You'd think birds would gravitate a lot closer to water, but they were making themselves at home here in this much drier canyon.
That's what it was. Holy is that electric? Yeah. Alright.
Still, we were not finding a five-striped sparrow. We continued to move up the canyon, which was apparently, according to Sean, away from their habitat, but we still had awesome birds ahead of us. This kingbird got us excited because we were keeping our eye out for the thick-billed kingbird, which we figured would be pretty hard to find. I believe that one was just a Cassin's kingbird though. Another cool nesting moment, since we were here during the breeding season, we had a hooded oriole working on a nest. And wow, it is always lovely to see the western tanager, a cool contrasting bird with bright, vibrant colors. This male was just beautiful. And then an interesting behavior. I think this is just feeding young, but whoa, they were intensely shoving beaks into each other's throats. That was kind of crazy. Well, we didn't come across the five-striped sparrow, but we got maybe even a rarer bird right behind me here. This is a thick-billed kingbird. Really awesome to pick this one up. This is actually Cossum's top bird that he really wanted to see on this trip. So now we got my top bird, Ricky's top bird, and Cossum's top bird all checked off, which is pretty incredible. You heard that right. We thought we were only going to get these distant views, but we were able to see a bird this close that it came up to us like this. Thick-billed kingbird onto all of our life lists. That was an awesome win. Even better, there was a pair of them, so we got to see two, not just one. And after the kingbird, we had a pair of redbirds. First, the summer tanager.
So red.
Really beautiful, beautiful bird. And then switching over to a flycatcher that's also red, a very, very deep shade of red, the vermilion flycatcher. The flycatcher theme ended up continuing as we saw another view of the thick-billed kingbird, this one even better than the last. And then we got another flycatcher species that we questioned the ID for a while. But regardless of what species it was in the moment, we were too focused on watching it just hammer this moth or wasp or whatever it was chewing on. Kind of funny to see it try and take down this giant bug.
That's the only other option. It's one of those three. Trust me, it's one of those three.
And then we made one more stop checking out this water trough that didn't have a whole lot of new stuff, but there were a pair of black-headed grosbeak hanging out at it. Cool to see the male and female contrasted like this. One last sparrow caught our eye, the black-throated sparrow. Unfortunately, not our five-striped sparrow. And so that was going to end Box Canyon for the moment, but I promised you an unbelievable encounter. So after a few hours of resting at the Airbnb, we returned to Box Canyon for this encounter. It was late at night, so camera gear wasn't going to do a whole lot here. I still managed to get this clip of a lesser nighthawk flying by though as the sun was getting lower and lower. I traded my camera though for an audio setup to try and get some recordings in the dark of the species we were targeting. We were here looking for a rare buff-colored nightjar, and they make some insane noises. We got it. Listen to this call I got. Isn't that the most insane ethereal like bird call you've ever heard? So cool. Really awesome to get that bird. And after hearing and getting Mexican whippoorwill, whiskered screech owl, and elf owl, that was going to round out a perfect full day of birding. What an awesome adventure. Thank you for watching this one. I will see you in the next one. Happy birding.